Hi, welcome to Western Religions Summer 2023. This is just a brief video to help you navigate through the classroom. Things are pretty straightforward, but I actually wanted to make sure that you knew what you were doing. Okay, so my name is Anna Choi. I'm your teacher for the summer. I log on pretty much every day just to make sure that people are staying on track with their discussions and deadlines and things like that, and making sure that you're progressing through the class appropriately. Now, this is the way that I see it. You might see things slightly different, but you will come to the main page this way. If you ever need to email me, use this icon right here. Okay, you can feel free to email me through the regular Sinclair.edu email as well. I'll be checking that. But this is the best way to do it because when I see an alert there that you've emailed me, I will go there right off of this page. Okay? All right, so the best thing to do is when you get to the main page, you're going to see announcements. I might have something, hey, heads up, the test is due tonight or something. And also I might have a post like this video will be in the announcement saying, watch this first. Okay. Then after you kind of look at what's on the front page, you would go immediately to content, because that's the most important thing. That's where all your modules and everything is. So the first thing you would go to is course overview, where you have the syllabus, which I have uploaded, about your instructor if you want to know who I am. This is just your holiday accommodation policy if you have certain days of the year that you take off for specific observances. Then Sinclair is very respectful about that, and there's your statement of faith. Course technology, what you need in order to, in fact, let me just open this up. What do you need? You need a working computer. You need a working computer that is not going to die on you or crash or whatever, and make sure that you know exactly what your technical requirements are. Okay, so you should be able to use email. You should be able to use this Brightspace, this learning management system. You should be able to download things like that. Basically have a working computer. Okay. Then the next thing, which is still under course navigation, please look at the requirements for all of the learning resources and things that you need to do in the class. There's going to be a weekly discussion post about the content from the textbook. For example, the first section of material is going to be based on chapters 1 and 2, and then the Judaism chapter. And you might look in the textbook and notice that the pages jump from, 60, 70, all the way to like 300 and something. That's because we actually took the textbook and only took out the chapters that you needed, which is chapters 1 and 2, and then which are on what is religion, and then indigenous and primal religions, then Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. So all totaled, it's really not a lot of reading. When I read the textbook, I read it in 2 days. So maybe because I was interested in it, but you have a whole summer to read it. You should be fine. Okay, so make sure that you read exactly what is required for you in discussion posts. There's a lot of things that are not acceptable, as in looking up information, Googling information, and putting that in lieu of your own personal opinions or your own reflections. So all of this information should really come from you. So please make sure that you do read the guidelines for the discussion posts. Then here's the course requirements. This is how it is outlined for the 12 weeks here. You notice that the due dates for a lot of these things are clearly outlined here. So this is under course requirements. I might even download this and print it out and put it like, I have a lot of stuff here on my window that I like to, post up. I do that. I post it up and know exactly when my deadline's in. Maybe even put it into your home calendar so you know. So essentially, we're going to be going over Judaism first. Then you have your exam. I'll show you what that's like, and it's pretty much the same for the Christianity section. Then you have a second exam. Islam, you have a third exam on Islam, and you have an experience project, which I will talk about shortly. Okay, so let's go to the next one. About this class. So here we are in Western religions. This is the course structure. Here are the module objectives, and then the policies. So one of the policies I reiterate here, don't cut and paste. Don't Google answers. The textbook is wonderful. The writer of the textbook has traveled the world. He's interesting. He tells anecdotal stories. It's very well written. It's clear. Just use the textbook. It's going to be very, very obvious when you haven't and that you're frantically kind of like looking for the information online. You're not going to get credit for that if I know that you Googled it. And, I've been teaching a long time. I know when you have Googled it and you really don't know what you're talking about. So just do the work and then approach each module or each section or assignment having done the reading, having taken notes, having, completely understood the material, having taken the little quizzes at the end of each chapter. Do all that and then tackle the assignments, which frankly are not that challenging. Here's the statement about academic integrity, which I just mentioned. Here's how to cite things, and this would be pretty pertinent for your experiential project. Like, how would you cite the things that you are using for your experience project? Okay, then here's your expectations in terms of your online work. So this is not a in-person class. There are certain expectations. Once again, don't plagiarize, don't cut and paste, don't Google answers, and I think you should be fine. Also, paying attention to deadlines. Sometimes summer time goes by in this kind of vague way where, oh, what is it? Is it Sunday? Is it Monday? Well, when you're in a class, you better know what your deadlines are, so make sure that you do. When you are posting discussions, be sensitive to the backgrounds of the people that you're talking to. Some people may come from a very religious background. Some people do not. Some people may have no knowledge of religion whatsoever. So be sensitive when you are posting. Okay? It's not my way or the highway. It's, hey, that's an interesting viewpoint. That might be the best way to approach it. Check your email often. Check your course requirements page all the time. Best advice, read every module lesson thoroughly. Take notes. Use the study guides. Always stay on top of things. Don't wait until, week 12 and say, oh my God, I got to do all this stuff. Do not do this, okay? Keep up with the work, all right? I will try to respond to you within 24 hours. That's kind of like my go-to because things pile up if I let it go more than a day or so. But be patient. Like if it's the weekend, if I happen to be away, give me a couple of days. Don't email me and say, why haven't you responded if you emailed me that morning? So be a little sensitive about my time, and I will be sensitive about yours. Let's see. Grading information. There's a little click here in terms of this e-learning platform, how to get assignment feedback. I will be giving you feedback on your assignments. Maybe not so much on the discussion post because that's like an opportunity for you to talk to each other, but definitely on your assignments, definitely on your exams. So click on that to find out how you do that, how you look for that. And then, of course, if you have any follow-up questions, we can certainly Zoom and talk that way. All right, towards the end of the class, so this is roughly July, maybe mid-July. Think about an experience project, and there's really, you have different choices. I try to make this very flexible. First one you could do is go to a service that maybe is different from your own. Like if you're raised Christian, go to a synagogue, go to a Muslim mosque, and just kind of observe and what it's like to practice, ask questions, find out details, etc., and then write a reflection piece about 2 to 3 pages. Okay. Project number 2. Go volunteer. Part of being religious is being part of a community, and there's a universal idea in all religions of helping one another. So do a service project and then write a reflection about that. Go to an art museum. There's lovely museums all over the place, and one interesting thing could be, I wouldn't restrict this just to Judaism, Christianity, or Islam. Go look at some Asian art, maybe some Buddhist art, maybe any sort of installation, sculpture garden, whatever, and be descriptive. Describe how you feel. Is it religious? Is it overtly religious? Is it a religious art piece, or does it make you feel as if you're part of a religion? Whatever. So that would be your third option. And then, hey, you know what? I don't want to restrict you. Door number 4, get creative. Do a video about your religion. Maybe interview some people who came over, or are a priest, or whatever. This is like, you know what? If those 3 things don't appeal to you, do something on your own. Be creative. Write a song. Be musical. But make sure that it's a complete reflection. All right. Okay, so that experience thing, that's kind of just a way to do something fun, okay? Here's some course facts. You know, you're going to be asking me those questions. One thing, look at the syllabus and look at all of these pages before you ask me anything. It's so complete, so much information there. Just trust me, all of that information is in there. But if you still haven't found it, here is the fact sheet where you can kind of like not ask me, but look at this page first. Okay. Then at the end of that introduction to the course, there's a little quiz because I want to make sure that you read all of this. So make sure you take it because I'll be watching. Then let's go back to, oh, and then there's a discussion page that's just like, hey, if you didn't email me and I didn't respond, post it here because I won't check this as much. I check my emails a lot. But if you do have one like, hey, does anyone know the answer to this? And you don't want to bother me for some reason, post it in the discussion post, and hopefully me or someone else will respond to that. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to walk through the first module just to introduce you to the way that most of them are structured. Basically, as you go through each week, you're going to just go through these objectives, right? So you're going to go to the introduction. What are you going to learn this week? What is religion? This is from chapter 1. Then you'll go to the next one. Basically, what you're doing is just reading this. Review the Judaism timeline. Listen to this Hasidic Jewish song. Then you're going to learn about Jewish identity, right? What does it mean to be Jewish? Who are the Jews? What are the different branches? Ashkenazi, Sephardic. This is all based on the textbook, by the way. And then you're doing the first discussion after you've reviewed that. So usually it's a bunch of content based on the chapter readings that you're already doing. Then you're going to do a discussion post. Then you're going to learn about Judaism beliefs. Let's see. In Module 2, it's the same thing. Module 2 will be a little bit more information and then a discussion post about what you've learned. So the first thing to do is look at the syllabus. Look what chapters you're supposed to be working your way through that first module. Basically, it'll be chapters 1, 2, and the Judaism chapter. And then work your way down through the different modules. Right, here we are in Module 3, which is Ritual and High Holy Days. Module 4, Judaism, History, and Holocaust. And then Module 5, dun dun dun, the exam. Okay, so you're going to get a guide, and then there's 2 parts to the exam. There's a multiple choice part, and then there's an essay part. Give yourself a lot of time. Okay, say I got to set aside a good chunk of time. They're both due on June 4th. Don't start at like 10 p.m. on June 4th. You're never going to finish these. So make sure that you reserve a good chunk of time. It's going to be open for a while. You know, it's open. There you go. Do it. But once you start, don't navigate away because then it'll submit and then you'll say, oh no, I didn't finish it. Give yourself a good like 3-4 hours of time to do exam, both parts of the exam, just to like get it done and you're really, really understanding it. So all of this same stuff goes systematically through the religions of Christianity and Islam. And definitely start off with the course overview. Okay, make sure that you know all that information, especially this one, the course requirements, which lays out all the chapters you need to know, all the deadlines for each module, and I think you should be fine. All right, so remember, email me through here. If you notice that I'm online, or if I say heads up, I'm online for the next hour, you can also chat with me. So we can do it both ways. Otherwise, email me if you have any questions, and good luck. It starts tomorrow, and I look forward to reading a little bit about you and your work. All right, thanks.